What's going on, Gemini? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a wonderful week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just incredible, Gemini. And it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy to have yourself brought you here. We're in for an amazing journey. Because it's a general energy weekly spread. Yeah, that's all I got for you, Gemini. But with this weekly spread, whenever you happen to come across this video, there may be some messages in here for you. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Gemini. So I'm going to pull a few oracle cards from this deck here, and then we will get some details with the tarot. But before we jump into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? And in case of y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, which I'm about to change up this one here in a little bit, Gemini, got some new ones coming. I'm excited. I've included links for them, which I'm going to have to include more links down for them in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below some links for some other readers that are like watching Gemini. Very intuitive group. I think you'd enjoy them. Let's go ahead and get into your first card here. We'll look at you. Putting up our guard there, Gemini, because you got the 9th card of Aries, which is Shield card. And with this card, this is a card of defensive, protect, support, safeguard, block, guardian, stand up for, being prepared, heroic, stronghold, security, ward off unwanted energies, be on guard, and withstand. And the energy that's coming through here, Gemini, is the safeguard. And I feel that this is an energy where we just want to be mindful of just any sort of, just really, I mean, because I'm getting kind of like, Seven of Wands vibes, where it's like, and I feel like we should always, get a habit of like protecting our energies. And this could be from a number of things, maybe to the foods that we're consuming, to maybe even the beverages or the people that we may be involving in, or we may even need to kind of pay attention to how, like, safeguard against maybe conditions from like our environment as well, even maybe around a lot of like loud noises, or maybe just anything I feel like is going to just throw you out of balance, and just kind of affect, whether it be physical, mental, or spiritual, the effect that any aspect of your health. You just want to be mindful of that, because maybe for some it's like we're getting ready to either maybe enter into a new career, possibly maybe a new job, or maybe there's been some dissonance amongst others, because we're in a, with us being in Libra season right now, this is a big thing about relationships and things along those lines. And we're going to be having an eclipse coming through here shortly, here in the next couple weeks. Yeah, in about next couple weeks. So a lot of changes are going to be happening. So we just want to make sure we're protecting and just observing. I feel like is a good place to be. I'm getting this quote that I remember. Where I heard it from, I'm not entirely sure, but it was something I read where it's like we have, 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we should listen more. And so I feel like that there's just you being the communicators of the zodiac, just paying attention to what you're hearing, and not even just like what people I feel like are people are just saying, even the stuff that we might be listening to, as far as like maybe like whether it be news or there's something, like podcasts, YouTube, things along those lines. Just pay attention to how, and just be extra mindful, I feel like, how things affect your energies, Gemini, just in general. But let's get some tarot on this and get some details. See what we're guarding from. Thank you. Alright, Gemini, let's see what's going on here. All right, so you have the Four of Swords and the Four of Cups in reverse, and then you have the Six of Wands and then the Ten of Coins upright. And I just feel like with the Six of Wands being here, this can be like a card of it can be like a card of celebration and a card of victory. And I feel like it's just, there's a lot of people that are around usually in this card that are here to kind of celebrate you here, Gemini. But there's usually like one in the crowd that kind of has this like sort of like this snarl or this just kind of like look of just like look at Gemini. And I feel like we just want to be mindful of those kind of like bad apples in the bunch in a sense, just something that's going to I feel like it's like paying attention to all the good things as around as opposed to kind of focusing on the more negative things there. Just because I feel like that for some, if we're not careful with this, that this is going to bring this sense of anxiety. Might mess up, start messing with your sleep, which again affects with your health, which affects this. It's just like all sort of like just kind of fumbles here and I'm even getting a sense for some that only because I like how this figure here is kind of focused on these three bird shaped cups that are inside here. They're all ornate and beautiful and things, but not paying attention to the energies outside. And I feel like for some, there's a need to be aware of like superficiality, maybe for some. That's one energy that's coming through here. But I also feel like there's a need to Gemini to maybe get like if we're not already getting outside, to just get outside in nature a little bit more, kind of maybe separate yourself. This is another thing, maybe we've been consuming a lot of social media as of late, and just anything that I feel like is just bringing about a lot of stimulation into your world there. It's like just kind of balancing out those energies in the sense. So I feel like that it may not make something it may not affect you immediately like notice like immediate effects, but I feel like over time if we're not mindful of this that things are going to start getting out of balance here if we're just not careful. So let me get a little bit more on this Six of Wands here, Gemini. Get a little more details with that. Let's see what's going on with the Six of Wands. Oh, there you are, Gemini. Interesting. So, a lot of air energy here. So you have the Star card and you, the Lovers, in reverse here. And then we have the Two of Swords upright. And I feel like with this, Gemini, that I even feel like for some that, because the Six of Wands can also be like a card of like a long journey in a sense. And I feel like it's just like as we're going forward, making sure that, because with the Lovers, I feel like there for some, I'm getting this sense of like our choices may not be, the choices we make may not be the best towards like any sort of like healing. Let's say if we're like, what's a good example? Like if we're just working on some sort of like vice or something that we're working on, just, yeah, it's the best way I can put it. It feels like that the choices that we're making aren't aligning with who we are, Gemini, and it's just like there's this oscillating energy that's coming through here with the Two of Swords. It's just like, do I do? I wish I had better words for that, Gemini. But I even sort of getting, just for some, there's even this sort of like this almost like in a paranoid type of sense, this energy of just kind of like maybe this overthinking that's coming on. It's just like who kind of has our back, or am I making these right choices, or can I get one more with the Star card? Let me get one more with that, Gemini. Alright, so the Star card is clarified by the Nine of Cups upright. And first thing that popped in my head with that, Gemini, is just for some. So it's like, be careful what you wish for. Like, it's, take this, and I'm not trying to be, ominous or anything like that, but it's just like, just be mindful of where your intentions are at and the choices that you're making on this journey, as far as just like who we're maybe be like we're associating with, just because you got you, Gemini, and then the star card, the lover, or excuse me, the star card, the lover, star card, Aquarius, which deals with networking, friends, groups, and things. And just paying attention to how those energies just kind of affect your vibration, in the sense, and affects your wish fulfillment, you getting towards your goals, towards this victory here. Because I feel like there's, like, some choices that are going to need to be made, and we're going to need to really kind of tune into to really, before we make these choices, if you can help it, Gemini, really kind of sit with this. Try not to overthink it, but go with where your intuition is trying to take you. Listen to your higher forces there. All right. Interesting start there, Gemini. A little complex, but I'm with it. Let's get another tarot in the mix. Oh. All right. Thank you. Oh. All right, Gemini. So you got the fourth card of Leo's here, which is the family card. And with this card, this is a card of loyalty, faithful, allegiance, parents, children, siblings, fidelity, commitment, trust, affection, support systems, origins, tribe, dependable, sincere, and kindred spirits. All right, Gemini, and the energy that's coming through here is the support systems. And so, and that's kind of like when I was talking about that rotten apple maybe in the bunch there. Just being mindful of just like any, you might be in this energy where for some we might be, putting up some boundaries, in the sense, kind of like analyzing your support system, and just paying attention, like on how I was saying, how we're, listening more, and to kind of like just before we're communicating. I feel like it's like you're paying attention to maybe what those around you, maybe your support system, are kind of telling you there. Because I'm getting like this Five of Swords energy, where it's just like some sort of negativity. I feel like is bringing down the vibration. It's preventing you from, there we go, tapping into like your potential, in a sense, and really kind of and it feels like that we're this might be something where it's like we're having troubles, in a sense, making some choices, or there may be some hard choices that maybe might need to be made here. You're maybe like your 10 of coins here, your long-term foundation might be shifting a little bit here, Gemini. But let me get some tarot on this. Interesting, Gemini. And I hate I didn't say that. But it's, well, it's alright. But you have there's that Seven of Wands there, Gemini. But also, I was picking up that, like, you got the Six of Cups and the Seven of Wands up right here. And then you got the Tower, and then you got the Two of Cups in reverse. And that's interesting there, Gemini, because with the Tower being here, I feel like there's some actions that are going to need to be taken, and I feel like it's going to be one where you realize that you're going to need to make these changes, in a sense. It's like, I don't feel like this is necessarily something that's going to like rock you, in the sense, but like it's not going to be like that, like kind of like flash, like a, where it's just like things are going to start falling apart, in the sense. It more so feels like you initiating this type of change. And I feel like there is this. And that's interesting. Your twos here. It's like there's a conflict, I feel like, here, with maybe how we feel about these changes that might need to be made, because maybe there's some sort of history, maybe something here within the support systems, or however that may be looking. And this might be something where maybe this could even be with the Six of Cups here, just like you may need to, if we're having troubles like making these choices, these decisions, that maybe there's talking with someone in your support system who you know really kind of has your back and kind of get these opinions as far as like, and ultimately, you're going to be the one that's making this decision towards, at the end of the day, but there just feels like that there's this either this criticizing energy or something here that we're going to need to, or just some things, and even just like getting some things that need to be ironed out in a sense, that we're. Let me get a little bit more with this Seven of Wands here, Gemini. Let's see what's going on with that. Interesting. All right, Gemini. So you have the Five of Wands in reverse, and then you have the Ten of Swords upright. And that's one of your cards here. And Ten of Swords is intense. This is card of rock bottom, card of betrayal, very malicious type of energy here. I mean, this Ten of Swords is really one of the more intense ones that I've seen here, and I feel that there is again just like if something I do feel like that is you feel like that there's this energy that doesn't have your back, or that this creates this conflict or this dissonance, or there's this criticism, or there's this judgment, or whatever this is, and it just doesn't feel good anymore. Just something is. I feel like we want to be mindful of that, and we might need to again just like, and it may not even be cutting off these necessarily, but there's definitely need to put up some boundaries to make some space and to maybe even kind of like share this thing where it's just like there's this energy of like, I'm just thinking with the Six of Cups, maybe even like kind of sharing these like if there's this shift like and I'm even getting there's this acceptance that's coming here, Gemini, where we may not like this decision that we need to make, and we're in the conflict here, but the Six of Cups, it's kind of reflecting on, like when you've made these decisions and you're kind of moving forward, it's like reflecting this, and, things had to go this way for a reason. The Tower brings change to the foundation, when things aren't feeling, when things are precarious, and there's not that Ten of Coins there anymore. And, just, just something to really think about there, Gemini. That's, all right. Let's get your last card here, Gemini. Alright, so you got the ninth card of Taurus here, which is the Still card. And with this card, this is a card of refinement, taste, culture, style, fine tune, concentrate, develops over time, purify, filter, draw out, infusion, spirits, alcohol, perfume, reduction, and cultivation. And the energy that's coming through here, Gemini, is the purify. And I am feeling for some that there is this energy of just kind of this, it's like is this cleansing energy in the sense, it's I feel like it's like getting in the practice of, because you know, we while we're out and about, you know, we can absorb so much energies of others and things. You know, the people that we're talking with, or that we're listening to, or whatever that's looking like. And I feel like there's a need to there's this like catharsis that's needing to happen in a sense, that it's just like paying attention to, like, again, maybe the stuff that we're listening to, and like how we can maybe filter that out with maybe some more kind of soothing things. Or if we're listening to a lot of, like, maybe it's been a lot of doom and gloom with maybe some of the stuff that we listen to, as far as like maybe news wise, or podcast, or YouTube, or however you consume social media. Maybe even just like, and it's not, I'm not, and you know, I'm not just necessarily just cutting everything out, but it's just like reducing some of that like negative stimuli, because I feel like it's keeping you in this sort of low vibration there, Gemini. And let me get some tarot on this. Alright, last little bit here, Gemini. Interesting. So, alright, small little reversal storm here, but that's alright. So we have the Four of Wands, the Seven of Swords, the Five of Coins, and then the World in reverse here, Gemini. And let's switch back over. Because I do feel like with the Five of Coins being here, there's this energy of, it almost feels like there's this energy of this lack mentality that's not necessarily maybe yours, but just something that's around you that's just kind of eating away at your abundance in a sense. You know, it's something that is bringing about this anxiety, which takes away from our sleep, which takes away from our manifestation. You know, like, it's just like how those little things, those sort of like those things around us that can really kind of lower, just again, to lower our vibration, and keep us from getting to this sense of victory, in a way of keeping us from this from like going on to this next level here. It just keeps us sort of like stuck in a cycle here, Gemini. And I feel like with the Seven of Swords being here, that there is this, you know, this honesty that's needing to be had with what that's looking like. Because maybe this is an energy that maybe we either have, I don't want to necessarily say there are liars around us, but it's just like that there's like more so being honest with how these different things do affect us in the long term here. And that's very, very Jupiter in Taurus right now, because Jupiter's going to be there for the next year. And just, and I even am getting like even this feeling of like needing to go, to just kind of go within, Gemini. And because I'm just thinking how Saturn, the world, is forming a square with your sign, with it being in Pisces, forming, and that's a tough energy. It's like it's similar to a tower moment. It's like situations that kind of force you into making a move. There's really nothing we can. It's like it's like we may not be able to control the situation that's happening, but we can control how we feel about it, and how that fuels us going forward in a sense. And that's what this tower kind of feels like, a squared situation where, yeah, we're taking this sort of action here. But let me get a little bit more with the Seven of Swords before we close out here, Gemini. Hmm. Hmm. More decisions, because you got the Seven of Swords is clarified by the Hermit and the Two of Swords in reverse. And I do feel that there's going to be, you know, we may not want to take this action here, Gemini, but I feel like there's, with the Hermit here, there's this energy of For some, it's just like reflecting on why we don't want to make this move and what's preventing that. What's But more so, I do feel like there is this. It's almost like we've been kind of. It's like you've been keeping yourself kind of hidden in a sense, and like with this, with the where's your seven? Wherever the seven of wands went, there we go. With the seven of wands, it's just like that. Maybe we've been kind of withdrawn as far as like keeping things to ourselves and like kind of letting. It's like others in our support system keep you down. I wish I had more words for that, Gemini, but there's something here about like it's like how we're something's trying to come out with that. I wish. Hopefully this makes sense, Gemini. But something is trying to. Yeah, but there's some changes I feel like that are kind of coming on the horizon here, but I think I'm gonna leave that there, Gemini. I'm gonna get out of that. But if anything is resonating with you, give it a thumbs up and share this, Gemini, because it's like with the Hermit, because that's Virgo energy, and Virgo deals with like your day-to-day routines, and you know, and it's like there's something. If you've noticed if you just notice that something is off in someone's support system, or that there's just this need of yeah, just share this, Gemini, if you know someone who might resonate with this, and subscribe there. Subscribe and hit that bell button to get notified when I release videos each week. And then last little bit, so let's shift gears a little bit. If you have any Cancer in your placements there, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mercury, come on over to the Mars. Come on over to the Jared and Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss lunar shenanigans. You can meet Rhonda. It's a good old time, Gemini. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here. So I can get you out of here. Look at you getting out of ticket and come over to my other channel. I love the Chariot. And so the Chariot's in reverse here, Gemini. And it feels like there's something here, whatever this is, that is, without knowing your situation, it's just like there's something that's slowing down your progress. And there's some work that's needed to be had, some decisions that need to be made in order to get that Chariot moving through these water here, get those barracudas moving. And I just got that song in my head, that ooh, barracuda. And you know what, maybe that's something where we need to do some kind of something fun here, Gemini, because this seems like a lot of maybe serious kind of thinking energy, and maybe we've been, just with the Four of Swords, maybe you've been in your head a little bit, and there's a need to kind of, like I was saying, like, and maybe this Hermit too. Maybe that's what that energy as well. If we've been kind of cooped up in a space there, Gemini, getting out there and just kind of just freeing up your energies, allowing yourself a different space to think about maybe your plans of action from just a different perspective there. And let me get your oracle card so I can get you out of here, get you out moving, contemplating. Oh. All right, Gemini. So you got the 36 card here, which is a Come to the Edge card, and that's almost what I feel like is kind of happening with this reading here, Gemini. It's just like that. There's going to be a situation where, with that Tower, and this is not to scare you, but it's just to get you thinking, because this whatever this is has been it's been on your mind, and I feel like that the space in order to make a move is there's a time, a sense, like, higher self tries, I feel like, to keep Tower moments internal. But if we ignore those signals, ignore our intuition that things need to change, that something's not working, then it's just like the time shrinks and shrinks, and then it's just like we kind of come to this edge where it's like, all right, now we have to leap, as opposed to kind of getting ahead of this energy, Gemini. And Yeah, just pay attention to this shit here, Gemini, and do some things to kind of, I feel like, to purify your energy, to just help you. Like how this woman's just scattering rose petals throughout, maybe working with some different scents, possibly something to get your mind just kind of more relaxed and just in a more kind of contemplative, kind of meditative space there. But all right, I think I'm gonna leave that there, Gemini. But you stay safe out there. With this, make sure, yeah, safeguard your energies always. Be mindful of the people in your support systems, and just one more thing, and this is not medical advice, Gemini, but just even thinking with Virgo how they can deal with health and things. And I just got for some reason I thought I heard immune system in our supports in my head. Just pay attention to that as well. Just take care of yourself, okay? And raise your vibration through the roof. Because there might be something here that's lowering it, or that's keeping it where it's not. Even if it's not lowering it, it's just keeping it stagnant. And there's something where it's just like it's like it's weighing you down or trying to keep you in one space there. So just be mindful of that, Gemini. And I will catch you on the next one later.